Hi everybody, this is Skittles Rivers, and I'm just coming to you tonight to just do a little talking. Um, this is something that that's been on my mind, lately, and I just want to share it with the world. Um, I would have to say that this last month or so, I've been on, I would say, going on a little journey. I was faced with some spiritual things that was a little too much for me to handle at the time. So I lost focus. No, I'm not ashamed of what happened because in that process I learned who I was in God. And I was amazed because the person that God showed me who I was, I am a very powerful woman of God, and I didn't know I was that powerful. Um, I didn't give myself credit for. I'm just keeping real. I didn't give myself credit for who I was. I thought I was just, you know, a layman. Then God elevated me to an evangelist, then a minister. And in my process of my journey, I would say, I realized that it was never about me. It was all about God. And even though I was counted out, looked over, and put down, walked on, stomped on, I'm still who God called me to be in the end. I was counted out a lot of things. Over this whole journey, I was neglected, of trying to fulfill my purpose and who I am. Um, a lot of things hurted. I couldn't talk to nobody right off, because people don't understand. And people probably still will never understand. Um, the person that God has called me to be, it's not an easy job, but, we have to do it. We don't have a choice. I felt like I wasn't qualified because I didn't see what God saw. And still a lot of times I don't. I feel like, why me? Why choose me? I'm nothing. I I just didn't see fit, to do this. But even in my is while on my journey, I smoked weed. Yeah, I'm gonna keep it real. I smoked weed. I drank a little. You know, I'm just keeping it real because I was going through. Maybe this is gonna help somebody else that feel like they don't see no way because I didn't. I had my mind more focused on the promise, the things that was promised to me. I thought that I had let everything go. I thought I had opened my hand, but really it was still kind of closed. I felt bad at first, when I fell off. I mean, I still feel bad, but it bothered me. It still, bothers me. because I was strong. So I thought. And I blamed myself for so long after it first took place, feeling sorry for myself and the mistake that I had made. Not understanding why, you know. But God, even though I may have walked away from God, He never left me. I would be high, y'all, and I preach after I get high. It don't be nobody in here but me and God. You know, I would preach a whole sermon, and I would feel good. I would go into worship mode while I was high. I never stopped praying. That what gave me hope, a peace of mind. No matter how high I was, I prayed, meditated, and thought of God. Asking God for forgiveness, feeling bad for what I have done. I prayed every morning, thanking God for waking me up. I prayed all during the day, knowing that if I would have died, I wouldn't be fit. I would go to hell. But in my transition stage, as I prepare myself, because yes, I've been preparing myself for my purpose. And as I'm preparing myself for my new walk with Christ, I'm not worried about what people think of me, how people feel about me, what people saying or what they gonna say, because when God forgives, He wipe it clean. I'm gonna start a clean slate, because I am who God said I am. I don't care if you don't like who I am. I said, God, I said, why did this happen? And you know what reply I got? I had to go through this, or I'm going through this right now for my anointing. Because what God has for me to do at this point in time in my life, I'm going to have to be ready for it, because He has elevated me again. And once I start to walk in my purpose, the person that God has created me to be, I will be Elder Rivers. And I'm very scared, and I'm nervous, because I know in due time there's going to be other challenges to come. He already shown it to me. So yeah, I know a lot of people going to have a lot of negative things to say, but so what? I'm going to do what God say. I allowed people to tear me down, but this time around, you won't be able to tear me down. I'm going to do what God say. I'm going to do what God say. The emotional things that I've had to go through, the crying and the loneliness and feeling all alone, you haven't had to walk in my shoes. Yeah, you might have had your own situation, but it hasn't been like mine. I've had to suffer, cry many nights. I got strong. I've gotten stronger. Some things that I thought I wouldn't be able to do, I've been able to accomplish them. And I haven't looked back. But I'm grateful because I'm getting closer to where I'm trying to get to. Even though if I have to walk alone with no support from anybody, family, friends, or whomever, I'm going to do what God has called me to do. It's been a long time coming. The heavy load and the burdens that I've been having to carry, I've only been able comfortable with talking to God about it because, like I said, I've been torn down by people. People can hurt you, y'all. But I love God unconditionally. He has been there when nobody else has. God's been here for me. And I'm not ashamed of the mistakes that I've made. Maybe this will help someone else. I gotta do what God says. I got to. So if you decide you don't want to talk to me anymore, or you might want to look at me some kind of way, it's not about me. It's not about you. But it's for God's glory. And I will allow Him to get the glory. Yes. People don't acknowledge me as far as who I am. Especially when you go to the churches, they don't acknowledge you. But it's not for acknowledgement. What I'm doing is for God. He's going to make room for my gift. He had already told me that. He will make room for my gift. I just want to be able to please Him. I have goals for 2014. I'm not going to let nobody turn me down no longer. God has turned down the walls of all the hurts and abuse that people has caused to me just because the hole in the heart of all the hurt, all the neglect, all of it. I'm going to be able to smile, really smile, and be happy. A lot of times I've had to smile to cover the hurts, because it's a lot of it. A lot of people think that sometimes they trying to help, but a lot of people have did a lot of things, that did a lot of hurting, and they thought, and they probably wasn't even aware of it. But I thank God for being there for me. And I just want to share this with somebody, because maybe there's somebody out there going through the same thing, or something somewhere similar, or trying to find out who they are and what their purpose is in life. People dying every day out here. You don't want to be lost, because I was lost. I was on my way to hell. But because I got a mind to want to change, I'm not worried about what people think. This heavy burden that I've been carrying is rough. Very rough. But in my closing, be encouraged. You're supposed to encourage one another, not tear them down or beat them up for what they are not doing, or trying to prejudge on somebody else. If people worry about their relationship with God, they don't have time to find fault in what somebody else is doing or what somebody else didn't do. Because at the end of the day, you don't have a heaven or hell to put nobody in. Stop worrying about other people. Focus on you. Where your soul going? You need to ask yourself, if I die, where will my soul go? It's the little small foxes that gonna keep a lot of people from going to heaven. They looking at the big things that other people do. Look at what you're doing. Because when you're talking about somebody, you still sinning. Whether you know it or not. When you tell the little white lies, that's a lie. A lie ain't gonna tarry in his sight. That's what the word said. I didn't say it. Skittles didn't say it. The word said that. Or when you see somebody on the street and they homeless and hungry and you don't stop to offer them nothing to eat. What if it was one of God's angels that he sent? Would you feed them? You have to ask, it's the little small things. Or if you knew somebody needed to do something and you know you were able to do it, you don't do it. It's the small things. So while people worried about other people, while they trying to talk about, criticize, and put down, those small things is going to keep you from getting in. Love one another, and I love you guys, and you have a blessed night. Good night.